Today is all about what I do in a day in an amazing city, Warsaw, Poland. Hi, I'm Eric Horwitz. I'm a millionaire entrepreneur living in Poland. This is a day in my life. A little bit about me. I run two companies, Lift Enrichment, which teaches cooking classes to children, and Net Profit King, which helps dentists grow their practice. So people ask me, Eric, why do you keep coming back to Warsaw, Poland? Heck, you can go anywhere. You can go to Italy, you can go to Paris, you can go to Athens. Look, here are the 5 reasons why I've come back to Warsaw. This is my 3rd summer in Warsaw since I first discovered it. So reason number 1 is the weather. It's sunny. It's about in Celsius, 28, 30 degrees, and that's about maybe 80 something degrees. At the height, maybe 85, 90. But compared to Dubai, which is my main home, and you can see that video right over here of my day in the life in Dubai, it's just too hot there. It's 105, 110 degrees. This is about 40. I don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be there. It is brutal. Second reason is I like the walkability. I literally, every time I come here, I feel like my legs get stronger. I get leaner because I'm just moving so much more. From where I am, if you live in the city center, we're right here in the Palace of Culture and Science behind us. I live around here at the Intercontinental right now, which is a beautiful 5-star hotel with a great view. We'll take you on a tour there later. The amazing thing is, like, you go in any direction and there are so many cool places to go. Cafes that I already go to regularly, restaurants I love to frequent. I'm not a big nightclub guy, but we're gonna go to one tonight. Point number 3, I love that it's green, all right? Now, I live in the desert. Remember, Dubai is beautiful, modern skyscrapers, views of the sand, the beach, the sea, and then desert. Here, they have stunning parks. I love to walk around like on a beautiful Saturday like today and just enjoy the fact that I live in a place with real life nature. Number 4, you live so well with the American dollar in Eastern Europe. I was amazed by how I could go to a restaurant for lunch, have an amazing 3-course meal, and to be like 20, 30 US dollars with tax and tip and everything. The cost, it's not low, but it's medium, but the value is high. There are great restaurants like Despensia, Nolita. Also, as an example, say a hotel, 5-star hotel might be $180, $200 a night in a beautiful city. That would be triple or quadruple the cost anywhere else. Here we are at the top of the Palace of Culture and Science, a gift, they say, from the Soviets. Poland has been through a lot, and after the World War, basically the Soviets came in, they did a lot of bad things, so it's a controversial building, but it is iconic. So here we're at the top with this amazing view, and I want to talk to you about how I discovered Eastern Europe, and that's going to go back to 2020, COVID. I had a buddy of mine, and he was an American who lived in San Diego, but hated American life, culture, people, girls, and he had a virtual business, so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go travel the world. He ended up falling in love with a wonderful woman in Kiev, Ukraine, and in August 2020, he asked me, we were messaging back and forth, and we were working on some projects, like, hey, you wanna come to my wedding? I'm like, it's August in 2020 during COVID. I was in Los Angeles. Los Angeles was shut down. You couldn't go to restaurants, you had to be home by 10 o'clock, lots of masks, fear everywhere, a lot of misinformation. It was a bad time. I did not enjoy the city. And my friend said, actually, hey, look, if you go to Kiev or Ukraine right now, you do one COVID test and they don't care. It's like an open city. You can go to nightclubs and parties and drink coffee at cafes. And I'm like, you know what? Fine, let's check it out. I fell for the city of Kiev. I like Ukrainians in general and just had an amazing time. The wedding was phenomenal with these beautiful, backgrounds, and everything, again, was so less expensive than very, very pricey Southern California. So I left depressed. I literally remember that flight home. I was like, man, I'm dating this beautiful girl named Anna and this other girl, Anastasia, and they were so much more pretty and classy and feminine and kind and genuine than some dating experience I'd had in Southern California, Los Angeles in particular. So I remember being depressed on that flight home. I even remember how California was literally on fire because some idiot in the woods did a gender reveal party, ignited the forest on fire. The whole freaking place is burning down, there's smoke, and I'm depressed. 2021, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona to get out of Los Angeles because I just got tired of it. And Phoenix is actually one of my favorite cities in the US. I love it very much. It's got that big city vibe, but cool mountains to hike around. more grounded people than Los Angeles because it's sunny and nice and desert, but not with all the bougie music and movies and cinema and, essence of LA. For those who know, you know what I'm talking about. So now it was 2022 and I really wanted to go to Eastern Europe, but because of the war in Ukraine and Russia, I couldn't do it. So instead I looked at Poland. Why not? I'm a little bit Polish. It's not too far away. And that I spent only a little bit less than 2 weeks, but I fell in love with the city. I felt such a good vibe. I love that it's a big city with 2 to 2.5 million people, a lot more, especially after the war. And then I went to Italy afterwards with the girl I was dating, and that was 2022. And then it's 2023, and I went, instead of just for 2 weeks, I went for an entire month. And my philosophy is, if you want to see if you can move to a place, you got to do 2 things. 1, stay for a week, but stay as a local. Live in an Airbnb, walk around, don't just live in a vacation lifestyle. Really live like a local. If you like a week, then go for a month. And if you like a month, you can go for 3 to 6 months. So that month abroad in Warsaw turned into now this trip, which is 2 months. And then next year will probably be 3 to 4 months a year, getting an apartment, getting my residency, and just enjoying my life here. And that's why I love it. Here I am in Oldtown Square. We have the PGE huge stadium behind us. I saw Taylor Swift there last weekend. She was amazing. When she comes to Warsaw or any country, the whole economy booms, 65,000 people. So I'm gonna talk about how to live in Poland for the summer, where to stay, what to do, and how to make sure the visa works out. So as an American, here's a tip. It's the bilateral agreement. In the 90s, there was an agreement between the United States and Poland that allows U.S. citizens to live in Poland for 90 days straight, visa hop, go to another country for 1 night, get a passport stamp, and stay for another 90 days. There is the Schengen visa if you're not American, but that allows 90 days during a 180-day period if you get the visa. I'm American, so I definitely take advantage of 90 days straight and the visa hop. There are some tax elements to consider that I learned from a Polish lawyer, which is that if you stay for over 180 days, you can get taxed, but I am only staying for 90 to 120, so I'm well below that threshold. Let's next talk about staying. So as far as areas, you're gonna wanna stay near the Palace of Culture and Science. Everything kind of revolves around there. There's a lot of great 5-star hotels I've stayed at, like the Marriott. I'm at the Intercontinental for this trip. There is the Bristol Hotel, is probably one of the most beautiful hotels I've ever been to. It's in a stunning building right here near the Old Town. And again, everything is about a 20, 30-minute walk or a quick Uber. So you're gonna have an easy way to get around. Airbnbs, that's hit or miss. Obviously, I've had some good and bad experiences here, but you're not gonna get the luxuries like air conditioning, but you're gonna get more space. I was in a 2-bedroom for a while, so I had an office area. I had a kitchen I could cook at. Okay, so let's talk about dining. So there's a lot of great restaurants I've been to, Stary Dom, Polka. For fine dining, there's Nolita, had an amazing, probably one of the best steaks I've ever had, like a Wagyu tenderloin, phenomenal, and the experience is top notch. Bar Rascal is great for drinks and wine. I used to live in an area called near the Brewery. It's a brewery, but it has a ton of restaurants in it. There's Spanish tapas, there's Mexican food. There's an amazing breakfast spot called Bacon, Baken, that has fantastic bread, pastries, always a bustling scene. There's always a line out the door for that. Another fun area is called the Norblina Factoria. It's a string of restaurants in a row. You have sushi, Italian, steaks, Armenian, whatever you want. It's got every type of food there, and everyone's walking around enjoying stuff. And of course, they have, quick options, sandwiches, ponchki if you want desserts, and kebabs. For health and fitness options, I highly recommend Stellar. It's a amazing gym, high-end, with a great pool, and it's in the Hilton. There's At Studio, which is a local Pilates and yoga studio. I've become friends with the owner, Anna. She's super cool, and I've done some yoga and Pilates because if you're lifting weights and doing all that, it's good to balance it and get all that flexibility. For nightlife and fun, I've been to Level 27, which is a club with a really cool view on the 27th story. That one's popular. Tonight we're gonna go to Sen, which is considered a more classier nightclub. C'est La Vie is another good option, and there's a great area called the Riverside with these cool bars and restaurants with DJs that just kind of lined everywhere. I mean, there is so many places to go out. I remember one night I went to a whiskey cigar bar called Bars and something, and it ended up having like a random burlesque show that was super cool. Here are my 5 ways to meet people while living in Poland. Number 1, You know what I'm going to say? EO, Entrepreneurs Organization. Whenever you go to a new country that has an EO chapter, which is an organization I've been a part of for over almost 5 years now, I love the fact that I can go to the EO portal, say, hi, I'm an EOer from Dubai or Los Angeles or wherever I'm from, and people are going to say, hey, look, cool. I want to meet. Let's go grab coffee. Let's go grab breakfast. Number 2 is, if you're single, dating apps. Here, Tinder and Bumble are the big ones, and you can meet a girl, and even if the date doesn't go well, you're not feeling it, it's just a great way to get familiar with the city, learn the cool spots, and just have a little mini adventure while you're here. Next one is friends. It's just making friends and having friends of friends. So, for example, last summer, I went to an EO Poland whiskey drinking and pizza party. That led to me meeting a buddy. The buddy invited me out to go to a nightclub. At the nightclub, he had a bunch of female friends he was going out with, and I actually became better friends with the girls than the guy who's kind of went his own way. Another way to meet people is doing activities that are kind of group oriented. So lately I've been getting into yoga, Pilates, group exercise classes. If you go to these classes regularly, you see the same people, or you just hit it off with somebody and go from there. Like even I went to a yoga class, met some girls that were doing the yoga class with me. And by the way, yoga, great ratio. It's like literally 7 or 8 girls for every guy. I mean, I don't know. And you feel very good afterwards. And I met with one of the girls, and, we went out for dinner a couple of days later and saw Taylor Swift and who knows what. My last point is you can literally and this takes the most amount of courage, the most amount of confidence. You can go up to strangers and talk to them. This is a skill I call social confidence. It's the ability to talk to anyone at any time. I'm pretty good at it, but I've only gotten good because I practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. Here's how it works. Whenever you're going to talk to somebody you don't know at a networking event or a party, or even on the street, or that cute girl at the cafe that's working on her computer that you just can't stop looking at, you're not going to have the courage to talk to her. You don't feel confident. You're going to be a little scared and nervous, but you have to do the task anyway. Then you do it, and guess what? The courage comes afterwards. There's a great movie clip I'm going to put right here with George Clooney, and he basically says something like,
the way this works is, you do the thing you're scared shitless of, and you get the courage after you do it.
You're scared first, you have the fear, and then you do the task, and then the courage comes afterwards. It is not a Poland day in the life if we're not eating some pierogies. So pierogies are potato dumplings, and they have different fillings. This one's got some type of meat in it. Let's take a bite. They're delicious dumplings, you can't go wrong. For our next dish we're gonna try, we have roasted duck with cranberry, potato pancakes, and this looks like a beetroot, so let's give it a shot. Tastes a little dry, to be honest, almost like turkey in a bit. And with the cranberry sauce, I'm kind of getting Thanksgiving vibes, to be honest. So this potato pancake, I'm kind of getting like latke vibes because I'm Jewish. That's delicious, of course. And then this looks like mush, kind of a sour / pickled, I think it's beets. It's okay. This is a classic Sunday pork chop. It is massive, as you can see. It reminds me of a chicken Milanese. Let's try it out. That's delicious. I think I'll use a little squeeze of lemon, to be honest, but it's kind of a classic chicken Milanese. You got to order it with the potatoes. Finally, you have this cucumber salad with like a kind of a sour cream. It's kind of good. It balances all the fattiness of this. So I like this better. All right, so here I have help today, my friend Maya. So what are we about to eat?
Okay, we are about to eat vanilla ice cream. This is kind of like an alcohol. It's made out of egg yolks. It's called advocat.
That's creamy, yeah.
It is.
You can taste the egg yolks too. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and you see all the bees and wasps on them. That's a sign that it's good. So let's give it a shot.
Okay.
First of all, it's not in a triangle, so I'm immediately lost, but that's good. I kind of like that it's not as sweet. Like American pies are super sweet. This is a little more balanced. You taste more of the fruit. But it's good. It's got like a cinnamon too, I like.
Yeah.
So last we have a cheesecake. Now what makes cheesecake different in Poland?
Actually, I've never tried American cheesecake, but I would assume that it's less sweet as well.
It's a classic cheesecake. All right, and now for a new segment called Interview with a Local. I have my lovely friend Maya here. As a local, what do you like about Warsaw?
Well, Warsaw is more of like a modern city, kind of like Wrocław. So that's what I like. There's a lot of diversity. You can meet a lot of different people. You have a lot of opportunities, a lot of things to do, at least compared to my old town for sure.
So you were telling me a very interesting thing that your mom told you about you're not allowed to walk out of the house with a certain type of clothing, because if you do, tell us what your mom said, because this is maybe something about Polish moms that's kind of...
I don't know if it's this about all Polish moms or mine in particular, but my mom told me that if I ever leave the house in sweatpants, that means that I failed at life.
Failed at life, which would mean a lot of people in America have failed at life because we are definitely a sweatpants, Lululemon culture. Is it a thing where like I feel like everybody here on the weekends, like they got to hit the gym? In fact, I was talking to another friend of mine, Julia, and she's like, I work and then I go to the gym and I go home. I do that Monday through Friday and then I have fun on the weekends. Like very disciplined, very regimented. Like are people at the gym because what's their motivation to go in there? Is it because everybody looks good or they want to be at their fittest? Like why is the culture so focused on like, or not focused, but part of their life is just health?
I would say that in Poland, gym, this is a pretty new thing. It hasn't always been like this, but we have always been big on walking. We would walk everywhere, so this is a big thing compared to America, at least. That's how it is. We walk everywhere. We don't drive that much, especially like in the Old Town. You literally cannot drive here. But for the gym, well, I can only speak about myself. I don't know about other people, but for me, this is strictly for vanity reasons. I do enjoy eating the desserts with you and then being skinny on top of that. So that's my personal reason.
Hey, look, man, I exercise so I can eat those yummy desserts and have those delicious foods. I think that's a great motivation. Actually, I remember listening to a podcast with Tim Ferriss, and there was a CEO of Disney, and the guy said, my reasons for working out and exercising every day were health, vanity, and sanity. How do people meet each other here? How do they make friends, whether it's platonic or dating, from what you've seen?
I would say that majority of people actually meet at schoolwork. I talked to my mom about that the other day. I asked her, like, how do you even make friends as an adult? And she said that majority of her friends are also from school still. Like, if you see somebody interesting, I mean, you can just talk to them. You can tell them, I don't know. I mean, as a woman, it's a little bit different making friends. I mean, if I like the look of a certain girl, for example, I like her dress, I can tell her, I like your dress, I like your whatever. It's easier to make friends.
But if I go to a girl and I say, hey, that's a nice dress, then it has a totally different connotation. As a woman, you're in your 20s here in Warsaw. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like this is a pretty safe city for a single girl?
It's nowhere really safe as a girl to go out, for example, in the middle of the night. Obviously, you cannot come home drunk, do whatever, because something bad can happen, of course. But when for example, let's say I'm on a night out, I take the Uber, I do feel safe. I don't feel like something is gonna happen to me. I feel pretty safe. And during the day, it's not a problem at all.
What's the vibe like when you were at the spots that you like to go out with?
Well, I would say in Poland, generally, people are less open than they would be in America with talking to people. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I personally like that about Americans, that you're so open to other people. But in here, mostly when we go out, for example, to the club, we already talked about it before, we usually go like in our group. And then we stay in that group. And I mean, yeah, sure, when I go out, sometimes some guy comes up to me, sometimes a girl compliments me, but it's never like we spend the whole night partying together. Like, it very rarely happens.
I'm a little different. I go up, I'm like, hi, I'm Eric. How are you doing? How are you doing? I try to say hi to everybody. I try to be fair to them all. How would you describe Polish men in general and then Polish women?
I feel like us, in general, Polish people, I would say that they are not as open as they are in America, but I feel like people here are more genuine and they are more honest. They do not put this kind of like a fake smile on. It just does not happen. I feel like this is actually easier for me because I know the intentions of the person. Like, it's not... Like, it's kind of uncanny almost in America when people just like smile no matter what they say. For me, this is a little bit weird. It's hard to read intentions this way. So I would say that people here are genuine. And I would also say that once you get close to a Polish person, they're very loyal and they are gonna have your back.
And they walk around with that kind of Eastern European kind of stone cold face. Like even if they're not in a bad mood or anything, it's almost like, why is it? Are they like trained at birth to be like, hey, honey, when you walk down the street, like, blank stare. Why is that? Is that like something that was taught?
It's just not normal to smile at people here. I know it's normal in America, but if you go down the street smiling here, they're gonna think you're crazy.
As opposed to in America, are people very, like in America, like in LA especially, people are all about, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Let's grab lunch. But they don't really mean it. You're like, hey, let's grab lunch. When do you want to do it? Next Wednesday or Thursday? And they're like, is it different here? Because I think one thing I like about this city is it's actually easy to meet up with people because everyone's a quick walk or Uber around the city.
When it comes to people, okay, they are definitely not going to invite you for lunch and they are definitely not going to make small talk with you. Like, for example, let's say you go to a restaurant, we've been to lunch a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember when you made a joke to the waiter? He was entirely confused. It was about Parmesan, remember?
Oh yeah, well that was a joke because we got this bruschetta and like they legit put like, imagine grating Parmesan on bruschetta, and then imagine if you went like, if you just kept doing it like after it was covered, like the whole plate looked like a snowfield had hit it. And so the joke was, I was like, no, this is good, but it could use some more Parmesan. And you got it, and he was like, I'll tell the chef. So would you stay in Warsaw long term, or you're not sure yet? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm probably moving after I finish university. Because that's another thing that I like about Poland in general, you do get free university. But do I want to stay there my whole life? I don't think so.
No? Why not?
Well, I would have to get political, but we do have a very conservative government, and I would not necessarily like to participate in that long term.
So do you want to move outside of Poland or really explore or what?
For now, I do not have a concrete plan. I would like to travel for some years, just figure out which place works best for me. But I like places with like a slow tempo of living. I like Spain, I like Italy, I like something like more relaxed.
Yeah, Dubai is a little intense, but hey, that's what you do. You try a lot of different cities, you try a lot of places. I mean, last year I went to 20 cities, 6 or 7 different countries. My favorite spot was Dubai. My second favorite was Warsaw, and here we are. And that's how I ended up here and met my friend Maya. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
All right, so here we are walking around Old Town. So fun fact about Old Town is it's actually completely rebuilt. So what happened in the 1940s?
Well, in the 1940s, there was an uprising during the World War II. The Germans bombed the city and basically 90% of it was demolished. So everything had to be built again. And everything you see right here, it has been rebuilt after the war.
So it should be called New Town, but they call it Old Town. Do you run into people that you know just walking through the streets a lot? I've only been here a month and that's starting to happen to me.
Actually, can you believe no? It has literally never happened to me in Warsaw. In my old city it did, but in here, absolutely not.
So if you bump into her, just say hi. She needs a little attention.
Absolutely not.
Hey guys, I'm an American making a video, and we're going to have more desserts. We are at Vedel, which is a chocolateria place, and we have 4 different types of chocolate. So let's get a sugar crush. Oh, okay, that literally tastes like drinking white chocolate.
I think this one is the most bitter. Yeah, it is very, but I like it though. It is really good.
Always.
I know if you're going to like it.
Whoa.
Try that one with a spoon.
That was bitter.
Okay,
I mean, it was still good. It was still good, though.
Try this one.
But it's a little intense. Oh, no, that one is bitter. Okay, that one.
Because I knew that this would send you in the
I think milk chocolate was better. That was my favorite. What did you like?
No, I like this one the most. These ones are a little bit too sweet.
That one's too sweet. That one is too sweet. You know you're in Poland when you could literally make pierogies a dessert. Let's try this. We got almost a chocolate. What's in the middle? What is that?
Sweet cheese.
Sweet cheese, caramel, nuts, and strawberries. It's not as sweet as I thought it'd be. It's okay. I'm not crazy about it. Pierogi cheese with like a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah, it's not too crazy. I've definitely tasted that before. It's not insane.
Not insane. You heard it from us. So we thought dessert day was over.
It's never over.
It's never over. It's just a chocolate vanilla yogurt thing.
Oh, no, it's not yogurt. It's just ice cream.
Tastes like something artificial. Especially because we had real ice cream earlier, so. So here we are at the Intercontinental 5-star Hotel, right next to the Palace of Culture and Science in the center of the city, right next to Złote Tarasy, the big mall, cinema, shopping, food, anything you want. Beautiful park behind me as well. Go check it out. So yeah, that's the breakfast spot. Highly recommend getting breakfast there. Buffet is amazing. 1 coffee in the morning, green tea all afternoon. Keep that caffeinated buzz going. This is the bar. I've had a couple drinks here, non-alcoholic, of course, with some friends, because that's how we roll. So here we are at the gym at the Intercontinental, way up high on the 43rd story. Awesome pool. Check out this pool right here. And look at that view of the jacuzzi of the Palace of Culture and Science. Oh, hey guys. What's up, MTV Cribs? What are you doing here in Poland, in Warsaw? Oh, me? I was just in my hotel suite at Intercontinental, just having my little bit of espresso for the day. Want a tour? Come on in. So here's where I live for the time being. We have the apartment suite. Now the nice thing about this spot, it's got a kitchenette over here. I'm a chef. I like to cook some of my meals as much as I like to go out. So I like that little comfort to make what I want to eat. Of course, a busy man like myself, I got to get my work done, you know? Zoom calls, talking with foreign dignitaries, presidents, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, just a day in the life, obviously. Yeah, a little living area, you know, I got to chill. Wait, what? You don't wake up and wear all your jewelry to bed? Man, you're missing out. Gold actually gives you the best sleep ever. Of course, we have a little nice view of the palace because you have to have that here. Of course, we have the bedroom. Got to have a nice place to sleep. Comfortable sheets fit for a king like myself when he just, you know, gets out of bed and has his espresso ready to go. That's life. All right, and here we are after that epic day at Sen Nightclub. I brought a couple friends with me because, you know what, life's more fun when you've got company. Sen Nightclub is probably one of the best spots here in Warsaw. It's right at the river. You can look right across the way and see the beautiful stadium here. So let's get to know some of these people. So you guys are not from here. You're from a different city. Tell us where you're from.
We are from Wrocław.
Wrocław, which is the third biggest city in Poland, right? And what brought you from Wrocław to Warsaw?
I wanted to move from Wrocław, and my mom is also from Warsaw. That's why I picked this city, and I love Warsaw. Like, you have much more opportunities than in Wrocław.
So for me, like, Warsaw is, like, Wrocław is more beautiful, for sure. It's got these beautiful canals and rivers and churches and
A lot
everything.
of bridges, over 100.
Bridges, well, hundreds of bridges, beautiful. But it's very quieter, it's more relaxed. Like, Warsaw seems like it has more going on. What has dating been like for you in Warsaw? Dating. Going out on dates.
It's bad. It's bad here.
I mean, I've heard, you know, different perspectives. Some people find that Polish men are charming. Some say they're not.
No, they're not.
Obviously, foreign men are better, right? The international ones.
Yes, international.
But what's the difference? What do you see or experience?
If I compare to Spanish guys, for sure, like people in Spain in general are much more open, you know? They also talk to you. In Poland, it's like everyone is watching you. Before coming up to you, they're like a little bit of shy, you know what I mean?
So they're not very forward here in Poland. They just
They don't.
look at you. What are your thoughts on dating in Warsaw? How's that been for you here?
I know I don't date in Warsaw.
So where do you date if not Warsaw?
I don't. I'm waiting for marriage. I believe that he's gonna knock at my door someday. You know?
Is he going to be riding a horse with a bouquet of flowers and just know exactly where you live and show up?
Yes. At least 101 roses. White horse.
Guys, you hear that? If you are a good fit for Maya, it's only going to take finding her address, finding a horse, and 101 roses, and then maybe you could be the lucky guy.
Yes. If you can figure out the address, I'm all yours.
Yeah, that might take some work. But you know what? If they don't want to put in the work, they're not worth it, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so people always ask me why come to Warsaw. Like, I can't think of any reasons. It's such a boring place. There's nothing to do, no one to see. Don't come to Warsaw, right? I think it's a waste of time. Don't go. I'll go for you. Just let me take care of it. We'll be good.